This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Use promo code GOLDBLOOD, one word, to match up to 100% of your initial deposit.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone.
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun with Gore on his left hip. 3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's got it! Touchdown, 40. Vernon Davis with the play of his life. It all comes to this 4th down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up by Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Yo, cunts. What's up? The only time 5-0 is good is when the 49ers are 5-0. Fuck the police, but go 5-0 49ers. Here we are, motherfuckers, beating down the motherfucking Rams. Suck my dick, Divisional. You know what I mean? So, what? You like that?
We hear things we like.
Yeah, I like it.
Wow, the guy likes suck my dick, Divisional. So
I love that you say something like "suck my dick, Divisional," and then when they laugh at it, you're like, "What?" Like you're aggressively asking why they're laughing when you clearly said "suck my dick, Divisional" for a laugh.
There's no punchline there. That's just me talking shit.
Right, but you clearly said it to be funny. You weren't like.
I think he meant more than
I don't know that I said it to be funny.
If you said it to them like, I fucking hate you, suck my dick, Divisional, and they laughed, then I could see you being like, what?
Okay. Well,
You know what I mean?
So,
we got news.
Yeah, we have real news, cocksuckers.
Important stuff.
Yeah, this is real life important. If you want to maybe hear this actual banter live at this week's football game between the San Francisco 49ers and the NFL team from Washington, myself and my number one gunner, Mr. Rob here, we're going to the game. And we have 2 extra tickets. And we want 2 of you, or I guess 1 of you and a friend is the way it would work, to join us. Come sit with us. We
Nailed it.
We don't have we don't have front row tickets, but they're not bad.
They are front row.
Oh, they are front row.
The front row of our section.
We're just not telling you what section. But yeah, you get to. So how are we gonna give them away, Steve? Tell these fucking people.
All right, so what I think we're going to do is that Curran on the Instagram has come up with a post, and we'll come up with a hashtag that enters you into the contest.
It's gonna be Gold-Blooded #Gold-Blooded Podcast.
#Gold-Blooded Podcast.
Correct.
And it'll require you to repost whatever Curran comes up with as a post, and you need to hashtag it with Gold-Blooded Podcast.
And then we're going to go through the reposts, tagged Gold-Blooded Podcast, and we will pick one of you, and you and a friend or girlfriend or whatever you want, whoever you want to bring, will go. Why is that funny? I wasn't going for a joke there. Why is that funny?
I'm not even listening to you. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing with whatever fucking noisy fucking toy you're playing with while we're recording a podcast.
He's trying to crack a safe under the table.
I'm opening cookies.
And I'm so distracted, but B, so marveled at your ability to just talk through whatever bullshit you're doing.
Right. If me and you had to do something, we would wait until we're done talking.
Or not talk. Like, I couldn't have done both, and he just was plowing through, and I'm more confused than he is.
Now we
Holy
got cookies for everybody.
Fucking fantastic.
So, and another side note to all this, I got baby making us snacks. Do you have anything that you request? 'Cause she'll make whatever you want. No. Just tell me. What do you
good.
want? You want
I'm good.
cookies?
No, I'm good.
Chicken? I'll make her make you a whole
Cookies,
chicken.
comma, chicken. When have those two ever been listed together besides alphabetically? Cookies, comma, chicken. Those are the first two things that came to mind.
So whatever snacks Rob doesn't eat, you can meet us in the parking lot and get those with your
Holy
tickets
shit.
too. So
I got a line on some 49ers tailgating for us too.
oh, yeah, I've been looking into a little bit of that too. So I
got a guy.
Listen, cunts.
It sounded like it's going to end up being another home game, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's an East Coast home game. So listen, cunts. Bottom line is, you want to go to the game. You're in the DC area. Fuck it. You know, if my voice is reaching you somehow right now, and you have the ability to get to this game, get on Instagram, drop a fucking hashtag, and what the fuck? I mean, your chances will be greater if you have pharmaceuticals. I don't know. I'm just saying that. But
We're driving from what, 5 hours away?
right.
So anybody else in that same distance could
5-6
go.
hours. Yeah.
I will add this. We haven't discussed this, but I think everybody will agree. If you don't have an Instagram account, if you subscribe to us on Patreon and give a donation, you will be entered in the contest, along with everybody that already supports us. You already have a thing, and you already got a horse in this race. If you're already a Patreon subscriber, if you don't have an Instagram, go to Patreon, give us a little bit of a donation, and you will be entered into this contest as well.
So, with that said, I hope to meet one of you, and I hope we have fun together.
Oh, this is going to go so bad.
So shy.
This is the longest I've ever gone without getting into the injuries.
Why do you think it's going to be bad?
Because we have to sit with whoever wins. We don't know anything about them.
I know.
Zero.
I know.
We know zero
I know.
about the two people
and
we're going to
like,
sit with.
They know a lot about you guys.
I know.
Oh, about me.
God.
I mean, at least
I
you're-
hope my wife goes into labor before then. Joe
then
Joe has to go sit with these two people and whoever he takes.
and my wife sitting next to two fucking strangers. That'll be
We're on at any minute, by the way. I could run out of here at any minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I have people that are. I'm just going to go with Mo to the game. Fuck my wife.
And two new friends that you're about to meet.
That's right. All right. So, folks, I hope to hear from you. Steve, I know you're chomping at the bit. You're twirling your hair and nervous here. Get going.
Richard Sherman, shoulder. He suffered a stinger, but he did return to the game. He should be
right.
good to go this week. George Kittle came into the game with a groin injury. I believe he suffered it during the week. I don't think it happened during the last game.
It did not.
But he was questionable as of Friday afternoon, and they were saying that he might not make it through the whole game. He did, though, and he did not practice today, and he is day-to-day right now. I see no reason why he won't be playing on Sunday. Debo Samuel, groin injury. He did not practice today, and he's day-to-day. DJ Jones, hamstring injury. He didn't practice today, and he's day-to-day. Raheem Mostert, knee sprain. He did not practice today, and he's day-to-day.
That might have been strain. It was hard to hear, Shanahan.
Kyle Juszczyk, Mike McGlinchey, Joe Staley, and Akella Witherspoon. We have no new news on any of them, and none of them will be playing this week.
All right. Riri the cat is status is the same for whatever that's worth. So the 49ers mollywopped these fucking twats. Wait a minute here.
That's not the right score.
That's not the right score. I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, man. The score to the game was
20-7.
20-7.
Ah.
Does that change the predictions?
No.
No?
Well, it was a three-way tie.
All right, so we got a three-way tie for the prediction game. Curran, Rob, and Matterson all tied.
That's right.
Now, I have a question. How do we determine the points?
So I take the 49ers score of 20,
Yes.
and then however close my score was to 20,
Okay.
if I had 27,
Yep.
that's seven
Seven.
points.
Yep.
Put that in a spot. Mark that down.
7.
If you had the 49ers as 34, that's 14 points for you.
Okay.
If Joe had them as 30, that's 10 points for Joe.
Yep.
Then I take your score for the other team, in this case the Rams. If you said 7 and they scored 7, that's a 0.
So you're
If they
good with
scored
14.
10 and you said 7, that's a 3. Whatever the difference from their score in either direction. Then I add those numbers up, and the lowest total wins.
So aren't we just essentially guessing the over/under score? I know you do them separate, but
No,
you
because
add
you
them
could have
together at the
you
end.
could potentially have said if it's 20-7, you could have said 25-3 and
Yep.
still won, even though you're over on one and under on the other.
Right, but
I'm not adding the score and then adding your score and doing it. I'm doing it separate.
I understand that, but when you add both of them together at the very end, isn't that just essentially total points for the whole game?
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's why I do it separately. If it was total points, for instance, make up a score. If it's 20-7 and you had the score as 30-3, you would have 33 and the score would be 27. That's a 6 point. That's 6 points for you. But if you do it my way, I can't do the math because I just said so many numbers.
Right.
It's more. It's more points if you do it that way.
All right.
It's more accurate of each score. I always thought through, like, how can I make it actually fair?
I knew there was never a question for me.
So Curran can't get a spread right to save his life, but he is leading everybody in the 49ers predictions. He's got 3 on the season. Rob's got 2. I got 1. Matterson got 1.
Here's a better explanation. If you picked 24-3 and Joe picked 20-7 and the score was 20-7, you would tie in your way.
Oh, interesting.
If you both would have a total score of 27. 24 plus 3 is 27. 20 plus
Even
7
though
is
he nailed it?
27. Yeah.
So
That's why I
even
do
though-
it the other way.
Okay.
That's why I do it the way I do
Gotcha.
it.
Well,
Because he would have a 0 and you would have a 6. Or
It's
whatever it is.
I've never needed an explanation. It's pretty cut and dry.
Well, aren't you intelligent?
It's fair to ask for an explanation of how, Steve. Jesus.
Pretty cut and dry. Sorry, Steve.
All right, offense.
Ironically, you want to go through what everyone has for points for predictions?
I just did that,
Am I
didn't I?
I don't. Maybe you want to reiterate.
After
It might
I
make you feel
insulted
better
you was what he was
Oh.
saying.
because you do have 1 and he's got 0.
That is true.
Suck my dick.
All right, offense off the top. We had 331 total yards, 232 passing, 99 rushing. We were 8 for 17 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down, 2 for 5 in the red zone. We allowed 2 sacks, 6 hits, and 7 tackles for loss, and we committed 2 turnovers.
One was the interception at the end of the half. What was the other one?
Jimmy fumble.
Okay.
So, yeah, opening up, I mean, the offense ends up going on a 3-and-out on the opening drive, and it ended up with the Rams lining up Aaron Donald outside against Justin School, and Donald just went right around him, no problem. And you know what was hilarious about that is that the Rams didn't do that again for the rest of the game. Oh, that worked great. All right, let's not do that again.
The Rams are fucked.
They're fucked.
They're fucked. It makes me so happy that they had one shot, they blew it, and they're fucked.
Yep.
They're so beyond fucked.
Now, they have hardly any cap space for next year.
They're
All of their cap
fucked.
space is tied up in Goff, Gurley, Donald, soon to be Ramsey, and who else? Brandon Cooks.
Let me ask you something. Marcus Peters, what does he play?
Corner.
So, in essence, what the Rams did yesterday, right? If you think through this, they upgraded one spot from Marcus Peters to Jalen Ramsey. They didn't just add Ramsey. They had Peters, who's a good corner by most standard measurements.
Although it
He's
seems
not
like
Jalen
nobody
Ramsey.
really wants him.
He's not Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
But he's better than your average, right? I mean, he's a starting cornerback in the league, right? So they upgraded from what? Middle of the road corner to maybe top 2 or 3 corner in the league. And they grabbed a linebacker who I haven't heard of. I don't know if maybe he's great.
No, I have
but
no idea who he is.
I have no idea. So let's even say he's above average and he's going to be a starter. He's not the best, but he's a starter. And to do that, to upgrade from Peters to Ramsey, and to add a maybe starting linebacker, they gave up 2 first rounds and a 5th round. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are you doing? Like, what planet do you live on? That
was it 2 firsts and a 5th? I thought it was 2 firsts and a 3rd.
I think it was 2 firsts and a 5th. Either way,
yeah.
It's fucking crazy. 2 firsts for an upgrade at corner. You have a starting. It's not like you went from 0 and a maybe starting line. Like, what? Who thought that was a good idea?
Not only
Who runs that team?
Somebody
Snead.
yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody yesterday. It never crossed my mind because I'm not in that business. Said that team is not trying to win a Super Bowl. They're trying to put people in seats, sell tickets, and sell jerseys. And I went, that's the only way that trade makes sense. Because Jalen Ramsey will sell jerseys, and in the short term might put some people in the seats.
Yeah, but Rob, maybe in the short term, maybe, right? But if they go 8-8 this year, and then 7-9 next year,
I'm not saying it makes sense.
Nobody in those fucking seats.
I'm not saying it makes sense.
Like,
but they have a new stadium, so they're trying to sell PSLs.
so
they're
they've-
not even trying to sell tickets as much as PSLs, I assume.
right.
Is the first step because they have a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
I am so glad. I couldn't be happier. They're done.
They've traded 2 firsts to get Ramsey. They traded a first rounder to get Brandon Cooks, who has not, fine receiver, but has not given them first round
Where
value.
do they get all these
Dude.
first round picks from?
And they spent a first round pick on a running back who is completely washed up.
Let me ask you a more important question. Let's say
have I told you never draft running back in the first round?
Let
Have
me
I ever said that?
Let me ask you an even more pertinent question to the Gold Blooded podcast.
Okay.
Let's say they didn't even have to give up Marcus Peters, right? Let's say they added Jalen Ramsey and they added this linebacker 3 weeks ago. What difference does that make in the game we just played?
0.
Fucking 0. 0. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, for us.
They have no shot at beating us.
It's so much better for, all the other teams in the division had to be like, yes.
Like, what are they doing? Yeah.
Even the Cardinals are looking better than them at this point.
Amazing.
Is it desperation?
Like I said, the only thing that made sense to me was they're trying to sell PSLs. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
They are completely fucked.
It's so good. That they got fucking embarrassed.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that first drive,
They would have had 0. We would have blanked them.
where all they did was run the ball, and I don't know how we couldn't find a way to fucking stop
They
them.
couldn't,
But I was losing my fucking mind.
I knew that I knew that wasn't going to last.
If the game started on the second drive of the fucking day, that team is a joke. A laughing joke.
Yep.
God, that feels good.
That was it was.
We made them look so bad that before the game, this was the big test for the Niners.
Yeah.
We made them look so bad that the whole rest of the analysts in the league is going, well, obviously the Rams aren't that good. So another game is the test.
And
That's how bad we made them look.
What I love most about this game is that it was a straight up ass whooping.
Yeah.
And the score, if you didn't watch the game,
Not even close.
doesn't really tell
No.
that story. So everybody else is still sleeping.
Well, I don't know. Most power rankings have them at 2 or 3. So
now
people are coming around.
But they were coming from between 6 and 10.
Yeah, but
you know
after
what I
that
mean?
game,
I
we're up at
agree.
2 or
Yeah,
3.
Yeah, I agree. There's not much more hiding any. But you'll see. I don't think anyone picks, Washington this week, and I don't think anybody picks the Cardinals next week. But is it Cardinals?
No, Panthers after.
Panthers. It wouldn't shock me to see somebody pick the Panthers. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're playing good ball, especially with Kyle Allen.
Yep. And Cam might or might not play against. That might be his first game back.
He might not come back.
If
Don't be surprised if you see a trade.
yeah, I could see that, but I thought you were saying he might not come back. Like if he came in and played against us, he's just gonna die.
No, I think that they're going to take their time with him because they want to make sure what they have in Allen first.
Yeah.
Before they bring Newton back, I think they're going to give him a couple more anyway.
Well, he also made it very clear in the video that he made. I don't know if you guys watched it. I thought it was kind of cool actually. He made his own video telling everybody what was going on with him, and he said, "I am not coming back until I'm 100%."
Who?
Cam.
Oh.
So he says that I cannot be Cam Newton unless I am absolutely 100%, and I'm not going to come back until I'm
No reason to
at
if they're
that
winning.
point. Yeah, right? All right, so we end up going 3 and out on the opening drive, and then on the second drive, we kind of look like we're sputtering a little bit, but a false start by the Rams gives us just what we need, and Jimmy on this drive just makes a few big-time throws as they go down the field, and they end up capping it off with a rushing touchdown by Tevin Coleman.
I think it's important to slow you down a little in when you say a false start on the Rams. That was us. That was our hard count.
Okay.
That was all by design.
All right.
On the road.
Offsides.
On the road using hard count on third down twice.
Sure.
We got him.
Early on in the game, Dante Pettis started showing up. He started making some catches and moving the chains on third down.
Yeah, what's your thoughts, Rob?
Yeah, that was good to see.
Good game, right, out of him.
He did
There was,
have a
I
good
think
game.
there was one later on, maybe, where he
He
got
definitely
soft.
dropped
It was
one,
his
yeah.
best game of the year.
Agreed.
For sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone talks about the touchdown, but that was one play
Right.
in that game. This was his best game.
Yeah, he had 3 or 4 like good
showing some promise.
receptions, and he also had, I noticed, a good blocking play. Like he was blocking for somebody downfield. I think on the Kittle run, maybe the long Kittle.
Yeah.
Run. I could be wrong.
Anytime I see him show up in a game, I just think to myself, God damn it, he is such a unique athlete.
Yeah.
The way he
Gotta get it
moves is
together.
unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I just think that there's so much there. There's so much untapped potential that I think if he ever reaches that point, I don't know if you can't compare him to anybody. I can't say that he's going to be a true number one. He's just different.
Oh, and the way we run an offense, it doesn't matter.
No.
We just need different weapons that they can't game plan for.
I think that he is going to mature kind of like a fine wine, but he needs to keep, working. And I think that Kyle's just going to stay on his ass. I think that he needed some tough love, and that ended up getting him to this point. But he needs to, on his own, start taking over some games. Then we had the flea flicker fail. I mean, this was a combination of things. It was a horrendous underthrow by Jimmy, and then just a horrendous drop by Marquise Goodwin.
It was in his fucking hands.
Yes.
It went right.
It was more. It wasn't like off his. It was like.
It was like. It wasn't even through his hands. Like he could have caught it. Like made his arms into a basket and caught the fucking thing. It was poopy.
It hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I mean, you're a professional wide receiver in
It
the
hurt
NFL.
my feelings.
You need to make that catch.
You sure you don't want a cookie?
I might grab one later.
Okay.
I mean, it just takes 7 guys to take down George Kittle.
Yep.
He just will not be denied. And he plays every single game like it's the Super Bowl.
He's the man.
I can't wait to see him in an actual Super Bowl.
And I know he's got this
I
little
can't wait to see
groin
him in
thing.
person.
Yeah.
I know he's got this groin thing going on, but the fact by how he plays, how physical he plays, he should be injured more, and he's not.
Why would you say something
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
brutal.
Yeah, it's a bad thing to say.
Maybe.
It's on you, Steve.
It's all on me.
It's on you, buddy.
Somebody write that
What did
down.
he play with last year? Broken ribs or something?
Yeah.
Right?
He did. He
Nobody
played-
even knew about it.
He played through the season with broken ribs. So then we get to the interception in the end zone by Jimmy. I mean, there were a lot of things at play here. Number one, you had Deebo Samuel that was running a dummy screen, and then instead of squatting there on the screen, he turned to look upfield, which brought Marcus Peters upfield as well. You had Kittle, who was coming around, being held, and because Deebo went upfield and didn't squat on the screen, Marcus Peters is just right there to pick off the ball where George Kittle should have been if he wasn't held. And I believe that Jimmy is coached to throw that ball. If you see the defense that you like, just let it rip because
Let
it's
it
going to
rip.
happen.
And Kittle's going to get it
and he's going to
if
get
he's not held.
So a lot of people are shitting on Jimmy for that throw, but
Fuck
you got to
them.
realize
Fuck them.
that quarterbacks need to throw the ball before the receiver's open, because by the time you see that he's open, he's not
Too
open
late.
anymore.
Yeah, it's stupid.
This is big time. This isn't college.
If you have a problem with that interception, you don't know anything about football.
I mean, at its core, at its face, when you watch that throw, you're like, ooh. But if you actually look at all the interworkings of that play and what happened and why it happened,
99 out of 100 times, that exact same scenario is first and goal because that's holding in the fucking end zone.
yes. So later on, we're backed up against our own end zone, and once again, Jimmy throws some absolute darts to move us down the field, and then he lets one rip He's good for one of these again. He lets one rip over the middle that almost goes for 6 the other way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
See, to me, that's way worse than the one in the end zone.
100% worse.
And that's why people who don't watch don't have any idea what they're talking about. They see a highlight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Jimmy had a good fucking game by all accounts. But I mean,
Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna be a little bit of Brett Favre.
yeah,
He's gonna be. He's gonna throw a pick that makes you scratch your head and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But that's also
and then
what's gonna
he's
make
gonna
him
lead
great.
you
Yeah.
to a fucking game-winning
Agreed.
drive
Yeah.
because he stands there in the face of death when an entire defensive line is about to ruin his fucking face, and he stands there and throws the fucking ball.
And that's the other thing, one of those interceptions might even, I hate to say it, but motivate him to come back out.
He comes back like it didn't happen.
Agreed.
he's gaining experience.
Yes. Yeah, he still only started fucking 16 games.
He just finished his rookie season.
Yeah,
if you're
get outta
talking
here.
game wise, if a rookie was playing, I know it's a very apples to oranges comparison, but if a rookie was playing in his 16th game and he played the game that Jimmy just played,
Oh, yeah,
people
be
would
the
be
next-
falling all
yeah.
over themselves.
Yeah. I think what is confusing about it is that he looks like a model, but he acts like a blue collar worker. Like he'll stand in there and get creamed.
Yeah.
And like Brett Favre looked like a guy that would stand in there and get creamed and throw bad interceptions. Jimmy Garoppolo does not look like that guy.
Right. And you know what I love most is that we have this team doing this right now, and we don't have a quarterback contract coming up on the horizon.
dude.
We've already paid him.
How about the fact that our 1 and 2 tackles aren't fucking playing?
Yes.
And our fucking fullback and our presumably the wide receiver that's going to make a difference in this lineup.
A lot of
It's
teams
insane.
that make this massive leap by acquiring a quarterback that starts performing well early on are able to do that because they have all this cap room because they haven't paid their quarterback yet, and that's their championship window. The Niners are doing this right now with a quarterback that's being paid one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. And I don't see talent on this team being an issue. Do you?
Definitely not an issue on this team.
I'll tell you what, at the end of the hard week, it's great to sit down, take some time off, and watch some football.
Game-winning touchdowns on 2-minute drives. Running backs racing down the sidelines with no one to stop them. There's nothing else like the NFL. And there's no better way to make the games
Even more exciting.
than to bet on them.
So do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag. No one gives you more ways to win than they do. MyBookie's got the fastest payouts and better lines than any other sports book.
Don't forget, where you're betting is just as important as who you're betting on. And mybookie.ag is the best in the business. It's where I play and where you should too.
Core talking points.
I wouldn't be telling you guys to bet with them if they weren't the best.
Do the smart thing, eh? If you're going to bet this football season, bet with MyBookie.
Can you scroll it back up for 1 second? I love that both your lines were do the smart thing. I was like, did I just say that? If you're the kind of guy, and by kind of guy I mean every human on the planet that likes to bet a little and win a lot, unless you like to bet a lot and win a little, then you should try a parlay.
I'll take what I can get.
What's a parlay, Rob?
Well, I'll tell you, it's multiple picks. You pick a bunch of games at once, and if all your picks come through, you'll multiply your winnings.
That sounds exciting.
Isn't it? And no matter how you bet, the NFL season is the best time of year.
Join now, and MyBookie will double your first deposit.
And before I give you the promo code, I just want to let you know that you could do a little bit of combination, MyBookie and Gold Blooded. You could take our locks of the week and turn those into a parlay.
You'd be rich right now.
Yeah, you'd especially if you parlayed those cunts.
No.
Not
only,
this week,
only
but-
twice I think we've gone
Right,
5-0,
no, I know,
right?
but maybe you make a 3-team parlay and you leave one of the idiots out of it.
Yeah, but you would have won so much money in those
If you just bet on us.
2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Then it would have made up for your losses.
Especially if you bet a little and win a lot.
Right
Oh,
there.
you would have won a
So,
ton.
use promo code
Gold blood,
to activate the offer. That's promo code.
gold blood.
Visit mybookie.ag today.
You play?
You win.
You get paid.
So, still on the offense here.
Did you... Joe's accent made me think of George Kittle's Canadian accent. Have you seen that?
That's a good one.
But have you seen the George Kittle video with Quan Alexander where he's talking about the Hot Boys?
No.
Oh, it's a good one.
All right. I'll
It's a
check
good
that
one.
out. So, So another thing, Jimmy Garoppolo, he is just swarmed with defenders. He's going to get sacked, but he doesn't. He escapes. And he flicks a little shovel pass out to Levine Toilolo for a 9-yard gain. That is big-time football right there.
Yep.
2 plays later, bodies draped all over him. Jimmy finds Kendrick Bourne for a first down on 3rd and 6. He was forced to throw it off of his back foot, hits him in stride, ends up going much further than the 6 yards we needed.
Anyone that has a question about Jimmy Garoppolo should go find tape of every 3rd down from this weekend. Because that's when he was at his best, when he needed to be.
So 2 plays after that, Pettis makes a leaping catch to get us inside the 5, and he almost makes a touchdown catch in the back of the end zone shortly after, but he was unable to get both feet in bounds.
Yeah, it was.
That would have been a big one.
That would have been our first. That would have been a cat celebration.
The end
he didn't
of
do
that,
it with his first touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We would have got it this time.
I was doing it. I'm licking my fucking paws.
Your pause.
That's right.
So this eventually led to the 3rd and goal at the 1, where Tevin Coleman literally could not have been more wide open in the flat. And the ball from Jimmy could have been better.
Oh, it could have been. But he was like turned around the wrong direction.
Yeah, it
He was
could have
all
been a better
fucked up.
throw, but it literally hit you in the hands, and there wasn't a body within 20 feet of you. We were 1 yard away. Brutal. So you had the interception that was thrown at pretty much the 1 yard line, and then you had this one, which was a walk-in touchdown. That's 14 more points that were left on the board. Well, and that we ended up kicking a field goal, so 11 points left out there.
See, Poppy, and he missed a field goal. Did you count that?
Special teams has its own segment. Relax.
I'm just talking about points left on the field, you twat. Watch your mouth.
So, and then last thing on the offense, midway through the 4th, Donald is able to get in and swat a ball away from Jimmy trying to escape the pocket, and they forced a fumble. They were end up to take the ball away, but they didn't score another point.
All right.
And why did they not score another point?
Because the defense?
Because they were playing the best defense in the fucking league.
That's the
why.
answer I was looking for.
There's no question. No question. 0 questions.
Off the top, 151 total yards allowed.
All of them were on the first drive.
48 passing, 109 rushing. They went 0 for 9 on 3rd down. They went 0 for 4 on 4th down. They went 1 for 2 in the red zone.
I mean, this team's on pace to break records that like haven't been broke ever.
We had 4 sacks, 6 hits, 8 tackles for a loss, and forced 1 turnover.
The number that I'm really concerned that stokes me is the 7 points. Single-digit points 2 weeks in a row makes me a happy camper. 3 last week, 7 this week. That's sexy shit.
This defense isn't just good. This defense isn't just the best in the league this season. This defense has a chance to be historic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking 2014 Seahawks, 2013 Niners, 85 Bears, or any other ones you could fucking come up with. Historic.
Sherman said, "Steel curtain, bring it on."
Did you hear how Sherman was like, they were like, well, Richard, it seems like you're, you seem to be around these historically great defenses, and he goes, clearly something to that, or something along those lines, you know what I mean? It was good.
So,
Real good. Good.
we talked about the first drive. Rams rush the ball 7 straight times, march down the field, and make it look easy on a touchdown.
That's the 3rd different number I've heard about that drive. A bunch of people said 9, somebody said 8, and now you've said 7. How weird is that?
I'm not going to lie, I kind of guessed.
Yeah, like I heard 9, then I think Shanahan said 8.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how many? And then now you said 7. Now I'm like, I don't even know how many. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They didn't even attempt to throw or pretend to throw.
Nope. So, obviously, adjustments were made immediately. And
Yeah, they didn't fucking waste no time there.
the second drive looked a lot more like what we're used to this season, and it was capped off by a sack on 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know if the first drive, like, out of the gate was just they weren't ready or what the fuck was going on there.
No, they were doing something different, and we just had to adjust for it.
Yeah,
That's
Salah
all.
said we just had to adjust our gaps a little.
That's all.
It almost makes me wonder, like, do you wait for them to score the touchdown to adjust, or do you just call a timeout and adjust right there? If you're that good at adjusting on the fly, then call the timeout and adjust before they score the touchdown.
We have enough problem fucking using our timeouts. Let's not go using them on fucking defense. Jesus. I mean, if we burn any more fucking time, that burns my ass more than anything. Those offensive burning timeouts.
I know.
Early in the halves. Oh, every time I'm like, we're going to fucking need that later.
I luckily haven't needed it yet every
Thank
single
God,
game.
but we were like out of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
burns my ass, Steve.
early in the second quarter, McVay clearly realizes that they cannot block us. They have no hope. They have no prayer. They have nothing. You cannot block this pass rush. And he calls 3 screens in a row. And they all get sniffed out by Kwaski Tart and Quan Alexander. Every single one of them. They actually lost yards by throwing 3 screens in a row. They finally get going with some runs by Darrell Henderson. And they get all the way down to the 1-yard line. And the defense with back-to-back goal line stops to turn the ball over on downs.
How fucking pumped were you?
That was fucking something.
I threw a cat. I was fucking stoked.
So that's why he's injured.
No, I threw the bastard.
Oh, okay.
But it was a celebratory throw.
I
awesome.
love anyone that says it's because they didn't have Todd Gurley.
I hadn't heard anyone say that.
A, have you really seen Todd Gurley play this year? And B, it would not have fucking mattered.
No, 0.
You could have taken Christian McCaffrey and put him in that offense for that one game, and it would not have mattered. Not with that offensive line that the Rams got. The Rams should have taken their 2 first-round picks, and they should have traded for some offensive linemen because they are brutal.
You want to know what's really great, Steve?
What?
Of all the different numbers I heard, you were the only person that said the correct number on that drive.
All right.
How great is that?
That is fucking awesome.
They did run it 8 times in a row because the first play of the next drive was a run.
Yep.
But you were right, 7 on that drive.
All right.
Good job.
So
Stevie Stats strikes again.
going into after halftime, the Rams ended this game themselves when they fumbled the ball on a toss play on the first play of the third quarter. Eric Armstead comes up with the recovery.
And then what did the 49ers do, as they do every time they get the ball after halftime?
Scored a touchdown?
Touchdown.
That's right.
First drive of the second half of every game.
So far?
Every single game.
No shit. That is fucking sweet.
How
So
great
That
is
was the Jimmy G rush, right?
That's coaching.
yeah,
That's all adjustments and coaching.
What'd you think about the Jimmy G sneaking?
Jimmy G up
Loved
the
it.
middle.
Yeah.
yeah,
We didn't-
yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The play action sneak. I thought that was a fucking good call
Haven't
because
seen-
the
haven't
running
seen
back,
that since
the
Cat.
running back out went down immediately.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good call. So I mean, after the second half, I mean, it was pretty much just a feeding frenzy for the defense. Hello, Solomon Thomas. He breaks through the line midway through the third quarter and comes in for just a complete backbreaker on Jared Goff. I think that a moment like that for him, even though it wasn't a big moment in the game, it was a big moment for him. I think that moments like that could really jumpstart somebody to start doing, start feeling yourself a little bit. But
The league's in big trouble if he starts feeling himself.
like, if it could get any better.
Woo! They're in big trouble, Steve. We put everyone on fucking notice.
And later in the game, D Ford coming around the edge and forcing a fumble. Ultimately, Los Angeles recovered it. Keep doing that because eventually those are going to start falling in our hands.
That's what he does.
I mean, it's not fair. It is just straight up not fair for anybody that faces us.
They're all in big trouble, Steve.
Steve, don't say that. Fuck them. Don't fuck them. Fuck every
Oh,
other
I have
team.
no sympathy whatsoever.
I hope they start breaking quarterbacks' legs.
This team is built to win the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh.
This team is built to win the Super Bowl next year.
Okay.
What team scares you?
The Saints, mildly, they have a good defense, and they get Drew Brees back.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the only team that scares me is the Patriots, but not for the reasons you
Nope.
would think.
If we face the Patriots tomorrow, I would bet every dollar that we fucking crush them because the Patriots right now are thriving on defense.
Well, my concerns with the Patriots are they know Jimmy better than anybody.
I
So,
think that Kyle,
That's my concern.
given some time to plan, Kyle could put up some points on the New England defense right now. The Bill Belichick and Josh fucking whatever his name is, McDaniels. Give him all the time in the world. You're not touching this defense.
My only point, you both prove my point, because the only teams that anyone could think of that we're even remotely talking about are the Saints and the Patriots. That means you're built to win the Super Bowl.
I guess
because
the Packers are in the conversation, but not really.
I would
It
say
just
the
means you're-
Chiefs more than the Packers.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get to that point where it's a handful of teams, it comes to who's hot and who has a good day.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Scheme is going to be part of it, but if the Super Bowl was tomorrow and we had to play any of those teams or the NFC Championship, and we roll out and we have a good day, they're done.
Yes.
If we roll out and have a bad day, then we're done. That's the NFL, but we can beat any team in the league. There's no doubt about it.
I agree.
And we have the ability to smoke a team, any team, on the right day. If everything falls, even this game, if you take out all the little things that can get fixed, we can have 50 in this game.
You think back at all the games this year, the Steelers game, all we did was move the ball offensively,
Yeah.
and we turned it over 5 times
Yeah.
and still won.
Still won.
You had the
Jimmy's worst game was the Tampa Bay game. Still won.
still won.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you have
forget it.
this game where we get to the 1 yard line 2 times and
Yeah.
come away with only 3 points.
If we can clean up that stuff, teams are in big trouble.
And not only that, but Jimmy is progressing as a quarterback. He's developing.
Oh yeah.
He's not a finished product, and he's just going to keep getting. It's not fair. It's really not fair. And everything that you've been waiting for over these past 2 years is paying off tenfold.
In Shanahan and Lynch we trust, Steve.
Remember when
We said it
Shanahan
from
wasn't the
start.
guy?
From the start.
Remember when Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't the guy?
From the start. Team Shanahan.
Remember when the Cleveland Browns had a brighter future?
Are you talking?
Did you see the Shanahan quote today? Did you watch his presser?
Yeah. I didn't watch the presser. I obviously.
Did you watch that clip?
I heard the clip about him talking about coaching in Washington.
Do you see it, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
All right. You got anything else in the defense?
No, I was going to go to special teams.
Okay. Special boy.
So we had Robbie Gould missing the 55-yarder before the half. That kick fell. It wasn't just inaccurate. It fell way
Well,
short.
I said he caught it fat.
I don't know what that means.
It's a golf term.
No idea what that means.
I don't know, but I can tell you that the fucking Dallas Cowboys kicker kicked a 62, and it's his second one of his career.
Meaning,
And then he missed the game.
like
Yeah,
he
where's the
chunked
fucking
it.
Robbie Gould that we knew?
He chunked it.
Did he miss the game winner?
He missed the
Oh,
game,
that's
didn't
awesome.
he, in Dallas?
What,
That's
Dallas?
amazing.
I don't remember how exactly
lost
that
by
game
2,
ended.
so
That's
maybe.
awesome.
It was either to tie it or to win it.
they
Yeah,
lost by 2.
I think he did miss one.
That's
And it was
awesome.
like it was like a 34-yarder. It just curved out right.
I don't think Robbie's got the leg for the 55-yarder at all.
I think he's just in his head. They say that with these kickers, it's a lot more fucking mental than you realize.
Maybe. And I think that he's been dealing with some inaccuracy issues. I think that's, might be in his head, but I really don't think he has the leg to hit 50 plus. I mean, that ball was so short.